Question 1. How many states are part of the Commonwealth of Australia? A2, B4, C6. Correct answer, C, 6. The Commonwealth of Australia is made up of 6 states. These states are New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, South Australia, Western Australia, and Tasmania. In addition to the 6 states, Australia also has territories such as the Australian Capital Territory and the Northern Territory, but these are not counted as states. Question 2. Who leads the Australian government? A. The Prime Minister. B. The Governor-General. C. The King of Australia. Correct answer, A. The Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the leader of the Australian government. The Prime Minister heads the executive branch, leads the cabinet, and is responsible for making key government decisions and setting national policies. The Prime Minister is usually the leader of the political party or coalition that has the majority in the House of Representatives. Question 3. When is Australia Day celebrated in Australia? A. 26th January. B. 1st January. C. 25th December. Correct answer, A. 26th of January. Australia Day is celebrated every year on the 26th of January. This date marks the arrival of the First Fleet in 1788, which led to the establishment of the first British colony in Australia. Australia Day is a national public holiday and is a time to reflect on Australian history, culture, and national identity. Question 4. What fundamental Australian value helps uphold the democratic system? A. Freedom of speech. B. Freedom to disobey laws. C. Freedom to ignore authority. Correct answer, A. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is a fundamental Australian value that supports and strengthens the democratic system. It allows people to express their opinions, share ideas, and participate in open discussion and debate about public issues and government decisions. This openness helps ensure transparency, accountability, and informed decision-making in a democracy. Question 5. What is the outcome if someone breaks an Australian law without being aware of it? A. You cannot be charged. B. You will not be fined. C. You can be charged as not knowing the law is no excuse. Correct answer, C. You can be charged as not knowing the law is no excuse. In Australia, everyone is expected to know and follow the law. If a person breaks an Australian law, they can still be charged even if they did not know that their actions were illegal. This is based on the legal principle that ignorance of the law is no excuse, which helps ensure fairness and consistent enforcement of the law for everyone. Question 6. Which principle ideally guides how success is determined in Australia? A. Their gender and wealth. B. Their hard work and talents. C. Their ethnicity and background. Correct answer, B. Their hard work and talents. In Australia, success is ideally based on merit, meaning people are rewarded according to their hard work, skills, and abilities. This reflects the core Australian values of fairness and equal opportunity, where everyone should have a reasonable chance to succeed regardless of their background. Factors such as gender, wealth, ethnicity, or family connections are not meant to determine a person's success. Question 7. In Australia, how are people allowed to protest against a government action or an organisation? A. People can protest by blocking roads and causing disruptions. B. People can protest by using violent methods. C. People can protest peacefully without harming others or damaging property. Correct answer. C. People can protest peacefully without harming others or damaging property. In Australia, people have the right to protest and express their views. However, this right must be exercised peacefully and within the law. Protests should not involve violence, harm to others, or damage to property. This balance allows freedom of expression while protecting public safety and the rights of others. Question 8. What system of government operates in Australia? A. Parliamentary democracy. B. Constitutional monarchy. C. Federal republic. Correct answer. A. Parliamentary democracy. Australia operates under a parliamentary democracy, where the people vote to elect representatives to Parliament. The political party or coalition that holds the majority in the House of Representatives forms the government, and its leader becomes the Prime Minister. This system ensures that the government is accountable to Parliament and, ultimately, to the people. Question 9. Who is required to follow the laws of Australia? A. Only government officials. B. Only Australian-born citizens. C. All citizens and everyone in Australia. Correct answer. C. All citizens and everyone in Australia. In Australia, the law applies to everyone within the country. This includes Australian citizens, permanent residents, temporary residents, and visitors. Regardless of a person's background or status, everyone is required to follow Australian laws while they are in Australia. This reflects the principle of equality before the law. Question 10. What event signalled the start of European settlement in Australia? A. The establishment of the gold rush. B. The arrival of the first fleet in 1788. C. The founding of Sydney in 1800. Correct answer. B. The arrival of the first fleet in 1788. European settlement in Australia officially began with the arrival of the first fleet in 1788. The first fleet brought British ships, convicts, and officials to establish the first British colony in New South Wales. This event marked the start of permanent European settlement in Australia. Question 11. Which two institutions together form the Australian Parliament? A. House of Lords and Senate. B. House of Commons and Senate. C. House of Representatives and Senate. Correct answer. C. House of Representatives and Senate. The Australian Parliament is made up of two chambers that work together to create and pass laws. These are the House of Representatives, which represents the people of Australia, and the Senate, which represents the states and territories. Both chambers must agree on a bill before it can be passed by Parliament. Question 12. What is the capital city of Victoria? A. Melbourne. B. Hobart. C. Brisbane. Correct answer. A. Melbourne. Victoria is the smallest of the mainland states. Victoria's capital city is Melbourne. Many fine buildings in Victoria were built from the wealth created by the gold rush of the 1850s. Victoria's icons include the Melbourne Cricket Ground, the 12 Apostles, and the Royal Exhibition Building. Therein, Brisbane is the capital city of Queensland, and Hobart is the capital city of Tasmania. Question 13. Who was appointed as the first governor of the colony of New South Wales? A. Captain Arthur Jr. B. Captain Arthur Phillip. C. Captain Arthur Currie. Correct answer. B. Captain Arthur Phillip. Captain Arthur Phillip was appointed as the first governor of the colony of New South Wales. He led the first fleet, which arrived in Australia in 1788, marking the beginning of British settlement in the colony. As the first governor, Arthur Phillip was responsible for establishing the early government and maintaining order in New South Wales. Question 14. Who is safeguarded by Australia's laws and legal system? A. Only citizens. B. Only residents. C. All Australians. Correct answer. C. All Australians. Australia's laws and legal system are designed to protect everyone equally. This means that all Australians are safeguarded by the law, not just citizens, residents, or government officials. The legal system operates on the principle of equality before the law, ensuring that everyone has the same legal rights and protections. Question 15. Can Australians have citizenship of another country at the same time? A. Yes, but only under special circumstances. B. Yes, if the laws of the other countries allow it. C. No, Australia does not permit dual citizenship. Correct answer. B. Yes, if the laws of the other countries allow it. Australia allows dual or multiple citizenship. This means an Australian citizen can also be a citizen of another country at the same time, provided that the other country's laws also permit dual citizenship. Australia itself does not require people to give up their original citizenship when becoming Australian. However, some countries do not allow their citizens to hold another nationality, so the final outcome depends on the laws of the other country involved. Question 16. Who is required to enrol to vote in federal, state and territory elections in Australia? A. Citizens aged 18 years or over. B. Citizens aged 21 years or over. C. Citizens working in the private sector. Correct answer. A. Citizens aged 18 years or over. In Australia, voting is a legal responsibility. All Australian citizens who are 18 years of age or older are required by law to enrol to vote in federal, state and territory elections. Enrolling ensures that citizens can participate in the democratic process and have a say in how the country is governed. Question 17. Which globally famous reef extends along the eastern edge of the Torres Strait Islands? A. Great Barrier Reef. B. Small Barrier Reef. C. Ningaloo Reef. Correct answer. A. Great Barrier Reef. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef system and lies off the northeastern coast of Australia in the Coral Sea. It stretches for over 2,300 kilometres along the coast of Queensland and extends northward to the waters near the Torres Strait Islands. Because of its vast size and location, it is the only globally famous reef that runs along the eastern edge of the Torres Strait Islands. Question 18. Who was appointed as the first governor of the colony of New South Wales? A. Captain Hardy. B. Captain Arthur Currie. C. Captain Arthur Phillip. Correct answer. C. Captain Arthur Phillip. Captain Arthur Phillip was appointed as the first governor of the colony of New South Wales. He led the First Fleet, which arrived in Australia in 1788, marking the beginning of British settlement in the colony. As the first governor, Arthur Phillip was responsible for establishing the early government and maintaining order in New South Wales. Question 19. What occurs if there is a conflict between Australian law and a religious practice? A. Australian law prevails. B. The religious practice prevails. C. Religious practices are given priority. Correct answer. A. Australian law prevails. In Australia, the rule of law applies to everyone equally. If there is a conflict between Australian law and a religious practice, Australian law takes precedence. This means that while people are free to practice their religion, they must do so within the limits of the law. No belief or practice can override Australian laws. Question 20. Australia values the principle of mutual respect and tolerance. What does this mean? A. Ignoring other people's opinions. B. Disagreeing with others without consideration. C. Listening to others and respecting their views, even if they differ. Correct answer. C. Listening to others and respecting their views, even if they differ. The principle of mutual respect and tolerance in Australia means accepting that people may have different opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints. It involves listening to others respectfully and considering their views, even when you do not agree with them. This value helps maintain social harmony in Australia's diverse and multicultural society and encourages peaceful discussion rather than conflict. Thank you for watching. How many questions did you pass? Don't forget to like, subscribe for me. Bye.